Mr. Tim Knight. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing okay. Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy
indeed.
Friday, man.
Was listening to you talking about Meta and so forth. We'll look at that chart in a minute. Definitely a thing or two to say about that. And flopping around, I think, is a good characterization of this market. It was, for the past like 20, 21 hours on the ES, it's just been like dawdling along in this tiny little range. A real mixed bag this morning. Let me just take my shoes off and jump right into the charts here. I'm going to start off with the ES, and this is kind of an existential risk to the one or two surviving bears out there, because this has been in a range since early May. So all of May, all of June, and into July we go. And it is just lots of smoke, zero fire. What the bulls would obviously want to see would be some kind of breakout from this, because it's just been just largely directionless. I prefer not to see that, if you don't mind, market gods. But we have been. This week's sort of the opposite of last week. Last week was sort of like strong for the first half, weak in the second half, and this is just the opposite. We are nearish to the top of this range. 76.05 would be what the first kind of goal the bulls would want to push through, but definitely on the high side now. And as I'm going through individual charts, and this is probably my rose-tinted glasses that I wear, I'm seeing a lot more opportunities for shorts than longs at these levels, especially with this SK Hynix thing coming out today. I just think it's a nice little marker for the froth going on with semiconductors. And I don't think that's trading quite yet today. I know at some point it'll come open. Do gentlemen know if that's flowing yet, or is it still
Not yet.
not open?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I haven't heard anything, actually. I'm looking at Twitter. I haven't seen anybody even really talking about it yet.
Okay. As far as the NQ goes, this is a little more interesting. We've also been range bound on this, but for a shorter amount of time. And we're kind of at the halfway mark here. So here we have support, which we did pierce on Wednesday pretty nicely, but bounced right back, especially yesterday. Here's resistance, and we're not exactly at 50%, but pretty much you can kind of see the lower half activity here and the upper half up here. So this is an important decision point as well, because clearly there's room to roam here if the market wants to keep pushing this higher without violating that range. For this week, though, it's looking pretty tired at these levels. And again, semiconductors are such a core part of that narrative, and I'm seeing lots of interesting action there and new short ideas in that realm. To that end, here's SMH. We were uptrending on here nicely, got very ugly and messy here, and since then we've been kind of moving into this plateau. We spiked higher yesterday, matching the peak we saw on Monday, but we retreated away from that. I'm short a variety of semiconductors besides my, and I tend to be longer term with my options than you were just mentioning, like January is my kind of most short-term month I do, but I've got my January SMH puts, but some of the individual stuff I've got is along these lines. So here we have Applied Materials, AMAT, which has been repelled nicely from that resistance line. We've got Nokia, which has this nice topping pattern that we've been slowly moving away from. So this is down 3% today, and these are all live positions for me. ST Microelectronics, STM, this is also down 1.4%. You can see a gentle descending channel like so, just been kind of wiggling along the way, but broadly speaking, moving lower. AXTI, AXTI, down nicely today. This is down over 11%. Here's the topping pattern on this, and just slip sliding away nice and easy. So just kind of tightening the stops up along the way. CIEN, Sienna. This one's also down, not quite as much, about 1/3%, but that line held. Marvell, MRVL, down about 2.5%. Once again, a nice distribution top here, some overhead supply moving beneath that. And WDC, Western Digital, which was one of those three stocks I mentioned earlier this week that constitute a quarter of all the market's gains this year, 3 out of 500. So that one, along with its compatriots, SNDK, and what was the other one?
Micron?
STX maybe, were the three monsters. But that's cracking its trend line as well. And another new short I entered yesterday I'm sorry, did I interrupt? Sorry, go ahead. I thought I heard somebody talking. Forgive me. All right. EWY, South Korea, shorted this one yesterday. That's going okay. It's down 1.2%. This gap has held as well. As far as Meta, you gentlemen were just speaking about this. This one opened quite weak yesterday on news of its big new investment in hyperscaling, but big bearish, bullish engulfing pattern, big recovery rally yesterday, and it's extended that today. I actually just got, again, January puts. These are just simple directional plays on Meta about 20 minutes ago, because broadly speaking, if we back ourselves away here, you can see that Meta's been engaged in the series of lower lows and lower highs, particularly lower highs, and you do have these violent rallies very periodically. It's almost very cyclic, you can see here, and this is yet another one. And I don't imagine this one's going to end any differently than this one or this one or this one or this one. So that's why I give myself lots of time, because I'm not, the difference between yesterday morning right now is already huge. This is 2 days of trading. So I want lots of time on this. Just to wrap, SpaceX, I think just the danger bells are ringing here. We're grinding away near the lifetime lows for this. And as I've said every day until August 11 comes, we're not even seeing selling yet. So this is the kind of performance we're getting with just sort of the little bit of float out there, no insider selling permitted. That's kind of troubling. And I think that's a big reason why these venture funds like VCX have just withered away in terms of interest and price, because the notion of like getting into these big IPOs early has been sort of dispatched with the reality of what's happened with SpaceX. And that's all I got for you right now.
Beautiful. Yeah, I think there's something to be said about the trade longevity in terms of going to January for such an aggressive move to the upside in Meta. We did the same thing when Microsoft was tumbling, when it went from 550 all the way down to 350. The further it fell, the longer term I wanted to get, because it's just like, you don't know when it's going to happen, but you have an idea, like it's probably going to happen within this time frame, as long as my time frame is a year out or 2 years out. So yeah, I like that. I like that call in terms of like the more magnitude you see in a short period of time, the more long term makes a lot of sense.
Well, I swatted my hand away on Wednesday because I had Costco puts, and they had a little bit of a loss. I'm like, oh, this is boring. I started to talk myself out of it, and then I said to myself, no, this is a $1,000 stock. You've got January puts. What on earth are you doing? So I just didn't bother. And the next day it fell like 40 points. So it's like, okay, good. You made a good decision for once. So yeah, you just got to stick to the principles.
Love it. Yeah, E-minis chopping around, NASDAQ chopping around here. Yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting day here. We've got some single names ripping around, but the aggregate is kind of a nothing burger. But thank you, Tim. Appreciate you.